Welcome to HuntFlorida TV. We are talking turkey with my good friend and three-time Grand National head-to-head turkey calling champion, Scott Ellis. Scott, thank you for being on the show. This episode's on calling. So my first question is, what are your go-to calls when hunting spring turkeys?
You know, a mouth call is always going to be my go-to call when I'm in the turkey woods. I feel with a little practice, you can get the most realistic tones with a mouth call. Its hands-free operation is the obvious choice why you would use a mouth call, and you can tone it down. You can do any turkey vocabulary on a mouth call, unlike friction calls, which I use a lot of. But my go-to call is a mouth call, my Scott Ellis Woodhaven Signature Series, and as well for my running and gunning and calling longer distances is a tube call. This one's made by a good friend of mine, Kevin Kirkpatrick, out of South Carolina. Tube call is a wicked sounding call. It has a rich resonant tone. It's loud and it carries a long ways, and it's in a unique tone. When I'm cutting and running, this is what I'm doing. I'm using a tube call. And that is loud, and they'll gobble from a long ways away. And hopefully you'll hear this. And it gobbles as well. So you can do it all in a tube call. It's loud, unique, does a great job for running and gunning. Outside of that, if I'm set up and just blind calling, then I'm running through my vest. I'm going to run a box call. I'm going to pull out a pot call and just run my different stuff. I do some running and gunning with a box call, but those are my two go-to calls in the spring woods.
What's your favorite tactic for calling to a gobbler?
You know, you ask a different turkey hunter, 10 different turkey hunters, you're probably going to get 10 different answers. But for my continued and consistent success over the last 30 years, my favorite way is to play cat and mouse with a gobbler. I mean, I love to cut one and yelp him to death and have him gobble all the way down, burning it down all the way to the gun barrel. I love it. Who doesn't? But more times than not, you do that, you'll get one to get stubborn and he'll want to hang out there and want you to come to him. So I generally like to get him charged up. I start him, meet with a basic hello, couple clucks and yelps, do just the minimal to get him coming in. And then if I need to step it up a little bit, I'll step it up. It's that simple. I'll start off with just basic contact, some yelping and clucking. Just basic stuff right there. He's hammering, he's coming, he's hammering, he's coming. I might get him a little bit excited if he starts to hesitate a little bit. I'll cut a little bit at him, get him charged up, and then I cool back down. But I'll throw a little cutting at him. Throw a little cutting at him like that. And if he gets out there and then wants to hang up again and get hesitant and he's right out there at that 60, 70 yard range, then I'm going to do a little clucking and purring. A little whining. A little soft yelp. So that's like I like to do it. Give him the basics. Get excited if you need to, and then shut him down as he starts to close the deal. If you need to cluck and purr and soft call him and settle him down, do that just the same. That's my favorite tactic for calling.
Okay. What if the gobbler has some hens with it? Does that change up your approach, and why?
You know, calling to the hens is one of the funnest things for me in the springtime, although it doesn't always work out in the best interest for the turkey hunter, because when he has the girls, we all know you don't kill many of those gobblers, but it always is fun to engage them and get them talking. And my tip is this: every harem of hens that the gobbler has with him has one boss hen, and everything that flock does is dictated by that boss hen. Hence, if you can get her to come to you, she'll drag the whole flock and gobbler in tow. So that boss hen in that harem is going to have one of two types of personality traits. She's either going to be an aggressive hen or she's going to be a passive hen. And quite simply, what you're going to do is always start that conversation with that hen, if you get her talking, with basic hen talk, greeting, contact talk, a clucking and a little bit of yelping. Say, hello, how are you doing? Because what's going to happen is this: if it's the aggressive hen, she's going to cut at you, she's going to get excited, she's going to feel challenged. Hopefully she picks up her tempo as she starts cutting, and then you can mimic her and bring the whole flock over to you, because she is the aggressor. She's the aggressive personality trait. She's the one that will pull the flock over to you to look for a fight. If it's the passive hen and all you've done is cluck and yelp to that hen, you're not challenging her, you're not being aggressive to her, she may cluck and yelp back to you, and then curiosity to find out who this new girl is that's just looking for company, even the passive hen may bring the whole entire flock to you. So again, identify a passive or aggressive based on that first contact communication. If she doesn't cut you off and get nasty, you don't cut her off and get nasty, and you be real civil with her. If she gets nasty, you get nasty back with her, and then try to pull the flock over by challenging her dominance. That's how I call to the hens during the spring.
What are the main calls that you would recommend, for beginning turkey hunters to try to learn and master first?
Well, I'll tell you this, the main calls a guy should learn right off the bat is the hen yelp and the cluck. Secondly, cutting. Fourth would be cluck and purring. You've got a soft, subtle call. You got a basic hen yelp, which is a normal mating. That's the universal mating call. You got cutting, which is also a mating call, which also shows excitement or anger. And then you can tone it down a little bit, and you can become content and calm the gobbler down. That would be the 4 calls. I'll demonstrate them here on a mouth call. We got your basic cluck. Okay, here we go. All right, you got the cutting, which is the fast, sharper clucks. And then you have the soft stuff, which is purring and clucking for contentment. And that's the 4 basic calls I would teach a guy how to turkey hunt with.
Does knowing all of the sounds a turkey makes and how to accurately reproduce all of those sounds, does that prove effective when turkey hunting?
Learning all of the turkey's vocabulary, okay, and knowing how to create those sounds and how to actually communicate with a turkey and not call at a turkey is how you kill a lot more turkeys. Good, awesome, you're a great woodsman. You can sneak and peek and you know how to set up, but you're really mediocre at calling. I'm telling you, take the time to become a more proficient caller. Learn what clucking and purring means. Learn what excited cutting means. A lot of people don't even know, they just make the sounds, they go through the motions. They kill turkeys every now and again, and a lot of times they don't kill turkeys. They get them to gobble a lot though. So yes, learn to take all of the sounds that a turkey makes and put it in your vocabulary list, okay? Best learned on a mouth call. You can do it on a pot call. You can do some of the calls on a box call. Between the 3, learn them all. If you can do one on another and one on another, do that. That's great. But just know how to create a kiki run or a gobbler yelp. There's so many sounds that a turkey makes that are overlooked that can seal the deal when nothing else works. Once you've learned to master these calls, you can produce them at will. Again, I'm going to reiterate this. Learn what they mean, and then you can start putting it together and learning how I'm going to say something real aggressive to this hen, and I'm going to challenge her, and I'm going to cut an excited yelp at her and challenge her. That's a great thing. That could be what you need to do to pull the whole flock over, or that could be what you're doing to the gobbler to get his attention because he's drifting off. So learn all the sounds of the wild turkey. Be as good as you can be on a turkey call. Put that with great woodsmanship, and you're going to kill a lot of turkeys.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. Besides Scott winning 3 Grand National titles, he's also got over 75 wins in 13 different states, over 30 titles here in Florida. Glad to have him on. And if you'd like to see more videos Talkin Turkey with Scott Ellis, you can do so right here at HuntFlorida TV. Also, follow Scott on Facebook or check him out on his website. We'll see you next time.